Thank you for your patronage.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 216. Oh, I put it in there. There we go. You know what I just realized, too? I don't have the rundown up. We dicked around before the show.
I have the rundown down.
Well, way to be responsible.
But I was bothering you for it yesterday.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Tonight, as you can see, Gabriel is here, which he usually is once a month, but no Larry. He's in his he's in St. Louis bringing his son back after his surgery. So it's just Gabe and I. Go to gigeconomyshow.com for everything Gig Economy Show podcast related. I want to mention our Patreon people: Samson from Grand Rapids, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Frank from Philly, Jamie from Tennessee, Tom from Chicago, Jim from Connecticut, Miguel from GR, and Linda from Tampa. If you'd like to join the Patreon, go to go to patreon.com/the GigEcon podcast. You get an extra podcast a month, which today you got. Oh, no, that's next week, Wednesday. Never mind. If you're on Patreon, you got it today, a interview with a security company called Incognia, I think it's called. But it was a really cool interview. It is as nerdy as it was. Talked a lot about just app security and people scamming the system and stuff, which is kind of a hot topic nowadays. So that will be released to the public at some point, but you can go to Patreon at the $10 tier and listen to it right now. Also, we have a Telegram group where you can go and chat with other people. The link is in the description for that. Larry and Gabe, I would say, probably talk the most, but Gabe's been a little quiet because he's been had to deal with some surgery a couple weeks ago and recovering from that and just getting back into the swing of things. So stories from the road. I have nothing. If you have anything, Gabe, if not, maybe just tell us getting back into the swing of things again, how challenging that's been.
It's been, well, I do a lot of Instacart and DoorDash and Uber Eats. And I didn't realize how much you use your back muscles. Like even just getting up and walking the day to day.
Yeah.
And I have a weight limit, so I'm supposed to not carry more than 10 pounds. And I'm kind of breaking that rule because it is what it is. Yeah. But it's been interesting to get back into it. I've missed it. I actually like it. Multitasking like crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm running like 3 different apps at the same time. But that's the thrill of gig work for me. The thrill is, the big unicorns that you get, and then the thrill of bouncing between apps. And it's funny because I talk to a lot of other gig workers and they're like, I don't know how you do this. Like, how do you run 3? And I'm like, it's just a lot of practice. Like I have 2 phones. I've got one that has 2 apps. I got another one that has 2 apps, and I just bounce back and forth. But I did have somebody who said that they loved it. They tried it. And she was like, I like this like multi-apping. Like this is working. And I go, if you can get it down, it works for you. Use it.
Yeah.
Especially I feel like every week there's more and more gig people joining all the platforms. It used to be really easy to get those unicorns, and now you have to fight for them.
I think I'm okay with multi-apping until it gets really busy on all the, you know what I mean? Then it gets then you're like, okay, well, clearly I don't need to multi-app right now because this app is really busy. But that's only when all the notifications are going on. I'm like, holy shit, like we need to back down. But for me, it's like I'm looking for an Amazon route and doing food delivery on the side. You know what I mean? So I'm able to, with the 2 phones, look at a flex route and pick up other 3 phones and a tablet.
Who said that?
Miguel. Oh my God.
Gosh.
Janet, background moving screen looks good, but it gives me motion sick feeling. Well, don't focus on that. Focus on our beautiful faces.
There you go, Janet. Hi, Janet. I missed all the comments. I didn't even have it open.
Oh my gosh, you noob. But Miguel says I multitask mostly games and Telegram. No, I mean, I honestly, I don't really do multi-app anymore, but you're Gabe's full-time gig worker, so if I was doing that, I would have to do that.
Yeah.
So you only can take a certain amount of Amazon routes, but all right, gig economy in the news. I just realized I forgot something. Hang on. I don't even know where this is. Shit. Well, we're doing that thing with legal rideshare, and I bet it's in my email. Sorry. All right, there we go. So I don't even know what I was talking about. Gig economy in the news. So last week or the week before, we were talking about Waymo, and I had said I got to pull this video. You got to see this car get trashed, and then I forgot to share it. I pulled the video and share it. So we're gonna watch. This is a quick TikTok, but this is kind of what we see when, especially in these kind of these. This is in San Francisco. What happens to some of these Waymo cars that are they're not being monitored. But yeah, here we go. Check this out.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find a love within. I came back.
Damn. I didn't know this had that song in there. We're going to get flagged on YouTube. But anyways, for the audio listeners, it's a nice Waymo car. It's white. A bunch of guys come up and start tagging it with a bunch of graffiti or whatever. And there's a guy in the passenger seat with his dog on his lap, and he's just like, okay. I'd be so uncomfortable with that.
He's like looking at his watch, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, wait, I can't run these fuckers over if I need to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that I felt bad for that guy, but I don't know how you prevent any of that.
There's no way to prevent it.
No. I mean, you can turn the car around, those kind of things, but yeah, it's just a shame too, because like as much as I don't want driverless cars to come to the area or be a part of a thing, I really don't want their shit to get fucked up either. That's just sad all around.
But what do you like? How do they know too? Does the customer have to like send a message to somebody to let them know, or does their car just drive around all day with the tag on there?
I would really like to try one of those cars out to see how much interaction you can actually have with somebody on the other line. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's no one in there, but can you press a button like OnStar?
Pick up red button, help.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd assume that you would be able to get out of the car when you want it. Like, I assume you have all the control you need except driving it. But yeah, a red button to say I need help. I bet there is. Some sort of emergency button. But I mean, I guess you'd be kind of a dick if you didn't let them know that happened. But
right.
And then earlier this week, Kamala Harris was, I don't know, I think in Washington D.C. But this car, basically a Waymo car, got stuck making a U-turn in front of the VP's motorcade and had to be moved. So at some point, I watched the video, but it was kind of clickbaity because it like started with it, and then they started going into the topics of like the election. I was like, it was barely anything, but the cop actually got into the car to move it. Now, obviously, he must have communicated with someone at the main hub or whatever, and then they gave him control of it. But I didn't even know that it still had steering wheels in there and everything. So it's just literally like a regular car, but you just sit on the opposite side.
Yeah, I see them all the time driving around here. But
Really?
there's always somebody sitting in the front driver's seat.
Cars or that bus?
No, the cars.
What driverless cars are around here? Oh, you're in Ann Arbor. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that you're over there. But what are they?
They're like, I'll have to look. There's two different ones. Like May Mobility
Okay.
is one. and there's another one too.
I know there's one in Grand Rapids that's like a little shuttle. It's like not as big as of a bus, but not as small as an SUV. But there is somebody always in there. But yeah, this is going to become, a huge problem if we can't follow police officers' basic commands and things like that. No, I get the motorcade thing. That's super unique, right? But still, cops trying to move it out of the way, regardless of what they're there for. So, yeah, I think it's going to be real interesting when as this thing comes out. And of course, I don't know. I don't know if we were talking. Well, we talked about last week how they're going to Austin and Atlanta as well. So we'll see. Should be interesting.
Oh yeah.
All right. So next up, we are going to. Okay, so this, I don't know. We're going to play this video. The guy gets caught spitting. I don't know. It's very weird. And then the whole thing's like 3.5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing, but I don't know. You don't think it's fake, do you?
I don't know. Like, I watched it and I was like,
I mean, the guy berated him. What am I trying to say? Berated him. There we go. The guy berated him for a long time, so that makes me think it was fake. Because, like, who would stand there and take that?
Well, and first of all, I probably wouldn't have just berated him. I probably would have. I honestly, if somebody spit in my drink and I caught it on my camera, I probably would have came out and threw the fucking cup at him.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been. Yeah, all right, we'll just watch the video.
Sir, I'm so sorry.
Drink your spit.
So sorry, sir.
Okay?
So basically, that was the end of it. The video shows the guy spitting in it and then delivering it.
Spitting in my drink.
So sorry.
Why did you? This is for my son, my 2-year-old son.
Yeah.
Why would you spit in my drink?
So sorry, sir.
Why? I want to know why you did it.
I don't know.
For what? We tipped you. What's the problem?
No problem, sir. My kids are my car.
Your kids are in your car, so you spit in my drink for my kids, right? Should I come spit in your kid's water bottle?
Then, sir, I bring another two.
Should I spit in your kid's water bottle?
Sorry, sir. So sorry, sir. Then, so I'm so sorry.
So should my son drink this, or you should drink it? You drink it right now. You drink it, take that seal off, and you're going to drink your spit. Okay, give me my drink. I want you to drink that right now.
So
Okay?
sorry,
Drink it.
sir. I'm so Muslim,
Drink
sir.
it.
I'm Muslim, sir, so I don't.
You don't.
Okay, so first of all, I'm confused. Now that I watched that video again, he handed him a different drink than he showed at the beginning of the video. Did you realize that?
Yeah, he only had two, unless, I don't know, he had 2 drinks when he was walking up. So I don't know where the third drink came.
I don't know if the guy came back with that third drink, but then he's like, here, drink my spit. But he gave him the one that he didn't spit in. So I don't know. Or maybe those other ones, they weren't spit in, but the one, I don't know. Who knows? I was confused. But I wonder why the guy came back.
I don't know. That's what I don't understand.
Like, if you're going to do that and then you come back and then get yelled at, that's why it made me think that it was fake. And the guy was like, I'm so sorry. But then he kind of smiled a couple times too. So I'm like, what is happening here?
Well, and he just kept standing there.
Yeah.
If somebody's they're gonna walk off if they're gonna say something, right? They're not gonna stand there and like have you yell at them.
Yeah, I just don't understand the thought process in that, especially, a lot of the comments were, oh, there's cameras on every door. Why would you even do that? But like, the guy just kept saying, I'm sorry. He didn't even say, like, if you spit in someone's drink, you do not like them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that's like the ultimate fuck you is like doing that. But then he didn't like, I would have been like, yeah, spit in your drink, bitch, because you're a piece of shit or blah, 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 whatever it is.
Right.
But he didn't do that. So that's why I'm like, this is weird.
I don't know. And a lot of people don't know. And somebody made comments about it. Like, it's a criminal offense.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
it's technically an assault.
Yeah.
It's actually, where did I read somewhere? Assault and battery. Assault, the battery is the actual physical part of the assault can be non-physical. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you don't actually have to, whatever. If you threaten somebody, that can still be an assault, but you didn't batter them.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why he's spitting it. Like,
That's my
he's
point.
like, I tipped you.
Yeah, that's why the guy was so mad. Like, at least tell me why you did it. Give me a good reason. I'm it could have been he's Jewish and the other guy's from Palestine. Like, it could have been any of that. I don't know.
Right.
But just to not say anything and just keep saying I'm sorry, I mean, that doesn't really cut it. So, yeah, if you're a new driver, don't spit in people's drinks. And if you're going to spit in it, at least have a good reason when you get questioned. Don't say you don't know and just say you're sorry, because that doesn't mean shit.
It's like that one video I watched. I don't know if you guys played it, where the lady delivering wrote a nasty note because she had to drive, and then she got there and the lady handed her cash and she was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
keep it."
Yeah, no, yeah. I know. That was so awkward. We did play that on here.
She was like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because I wrote a note. I saw you didn't tip."
Well, again, she should have. Okay, we're hindsight is 2020, right? We're thinking of what we had done. She'd be like, "Listen, I thought, just be honest. Like, I thought you were gonna tip. I was a complete bitch on that note. Can I just have it back?" And you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
just be honest. Like, just say I've been stiffed so many times, and I wrote a nasty note, and obviously you're tipping, which is tipping in cash is your number 1 out of 100 because the 99 other people aren't doing it.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Apparently, Miguel didn't like your use of.
Well, I mean, it was a white guy that could have been Jewish, and I don't know what ethnicity that other guy was. I don't know. Jeez, I'm just throwing darts at the wall. I don't know. DoorDash. Is DoorDash actually phasing out gig workers? That's such a good clickbait. I put that in the title, right? Because people will be like, blah, blah, blah. But it's not what do you think it is. So they are collaborating with at least 2 local delivery providers, which is weird. It's a local commerce service partner program. One in Austin, Texas, and the other one in Fresno, California. But they're basically W-2 employees. But they're not actually... I don't understand how this works. It says it partners with local providers. So are they even using the DoorDash app? I don't understand.
It's in the UK though, isn't it?
I think so.
Oh no, Austin.
Yeah,
Texas,
no,
and
not
Fresno.
UK. We do have a story that has UK in it though, so that's why I was like, yeah, it's in UK. It said both companies' website indicate they're hiring W-2 employees, a significant departure from gig worker model that DoorDash and other delivery services have relied on.
Oh, they're doing it so they can. The gig workers can qualify for employee status.
Yeah, but I mean, let's see. However, we know that there's a small subset of workers who prefer set schedules and predictability of W-2 work, which is why we're piloting the LCSP in select markets to focus on maintaining healthy supply levels and supplement the handing of new and different types of orders. I think the biggest problem with that is if you're going to compete with other gig workers, that's not great, because are they going to funnel those orders that normally would go to gig workers to the hourly, because, they're only paying them, I guess they start out at $16 an hour. They do get tips and mileage reimbursement, but
that might be worth it.
yeah. And healthcare and paid time off, but I mean, again, do we really trust DoorDash to do the right thing? But again, it also says it's like a local company, so it doesn't really explain to me if they're actually using the DoorDash app or if they're I don't know. I guess I don't understand it. The Austin one is $13 an hour plus tips and mileage reimbursement of 10 cents a mile. Full-time delivery employees must work 10-hour shifts Monday to Friday.
Oh hell no.
That doesn't work out. Monday to Friday is 5 days. This full-time delivery must
You
work.
get one day off.
Well, yeah, I know, but it just, yeah, that's weird. I don't know. But don't you understand what I'm saying? Like, don't you think it would, that they would funnel those orders to those hourly employees or not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what when I read that, I was like, yeah, I think that's what they're going to be doing. So,
Well, I guess a big thing is they're doing it because they're seeing like this decrease in what people are saying that they make, which I'm mixed on that whole thing because I don't think I've gone down every year. I just get smarter and change how I do gig work.
You say people are
So-
reporting they're making less and less?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, they're trying to see if maybe this curbs that a little bit. I don't know.
Bubba Sue says they're not using the DoorDash app. Okay, so what how does, I guess they're not using the DoorDash app, but they're DoorDash customers, I guess? Is that kind of like the DSP thing with Amazon where they're not
Yeah.
They're not.
Probably.
They work for Amazon, but they use, at least with Amazon, everyone uses the same app. Like Flex drivers use the same app as what DSPs do, but maybe that's kind of what it is. I would think that it would take business away from regular gig workers, but maybe not. I mean, 16 ain't horrible with plus tips and mileage and healthcare and paid time off. I mean,
Yeah.
but again, do you want to work 40 hours a week delivering food?
No.
That's what you're doing, 40 hours a week. It's not like you multi-apping.
And it's interesting because it's Monday through Friday. When are the busiest times? For me, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, maybe they're going to mostly focus on like catering orders. You know what I mean? Like to businesses. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I don't know. It could have something to do with all the New York, how they've got a mandatory amount of, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm just completely speculating at this point. So, all right, Gabe, what's up next? We're talking unions, my favorite thing.
Oh, yeah. They're looking at giving the option to unionize if they can get a certain amount of signatures. So 5% support active drivers for its information. So you can have a driver organization and put it up. If 25% do it, then they authorize a specific union, and that union could be designated as the exclusive bargaining representative for all drivers.
Okay.
In that area. I don't know. A lot of it has to do with Massachusetts right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm mixed. I think unions are great when they're done properly, but then like I do gig work because I don't want to. I know the risk of doing gig work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm out for myself. So I don't know. There's just a bunch of rules that you'd have to fit in,
Well, I mean, that's the thing, the union is great, but you have to follow what the contract says. So, like, if you don't like that, I mean, you obviously have to change it. But that is one of the I wouldn't say the bad part, but like, if it's a shitty contract and you got to follow it, like, I mean, that's it.
Well, and they talk about like the cons of it. It could lower wages for drivers.
Yeah,
a portion of their pay would now go towards union dues.
Correct.
You could have higher trip costs for passengers who might be charged more to make up the difference.
No.
So then,
now, is this union just in regards to because of in Massachusetts, because now they're basically W-2 employees at this point, or somewhat like it?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's like a whole thing that they need to, I guess they're talking about everyone. It's on the ballot. It's on the ballot this year. So
I really only think the union works as if it's like a W-2 job. If it's a gig worker like where it is here, where there's no minimum wage or minimum requirement, I don't know how it works. I mean, I understand that, they want to come together and force Uber to do other things, but I don't think you can have a legit union like where you file signatures and everything like that. I just don't think it's going to work because I think it only works when you have a W-2 employee job. Like, I don't think it works outside of that.
they're putting it on the ballot. So.
Yeah, I know. I think it works in Massachusetts, but it wouldn't work in Michigan.
Yeah. Well, not yet. Look at
yeah.
look at California a couple years ago and that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then now we're at Massachusetts. Like, well, what's next?
But the problem is all the states are different. Minnesota's different from Massachusetts, from New York, from California. They all have their own things, which it is nice to have those kind of changes on the state level, but it makes it very confusing to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Well,
and and then what happens in those moments if, like, let's say you take somebody across, there's some states where you can go back and forth, right?
Oh,
you can
that's a
drive
good
in
point.
certain states. So what happens if you drive into that state while you're on a ride?
Yeah. Well, I know the guys in New York, I know they have issues, I think, with that, with driving into New York City and driving out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know exactly what it would be, but I know there definitely has been problems with that now that they have the minimum thing, which is so crazy. Can you imagine, Gabe, having that where you work and you go to sign on? They're like, oh, nope, can't sign on, can't do it. Overloaded with workers.
Yeah. Or just like, even, when I was in Grand Rapids and we'd get those Chicago ones, you cross that border and then all of a sudden you're done and you're like, I got to drive 40 minutes out of the city.
Yeah.
To get a ride.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. But again, I do like it on the state level. It's nice not to have the feds controlling the whole country on some stuff, but
well, yeah, because I think every state is different too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The standard of living, the cost of living.
All right, moving on. Let's see. Couple left with life-changing crash injuries can't sue Uber after agreeing to terms while ordering pizza. So, John in Georgia from New Jersey were riding an Uber vehicle when it crashed in March 2022. The missus left in critical care, a bunch of injuries, so on and so forth. However, when they attempted to sue the company, let me move this over here so I'm not looking away. State judge ruled that they had click confirm button on more than one occasion when they asked if they agree with the terms. Speaking to the BBC, the couple said the most recent time the terms had been agreed to when their 12-year-old daughter had ordered a pizza on Uber Eats. They meant that they were unable to bring their case to a jury under the 7th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution as they had forfeited their rights. How would I remotely think that my ability to protect my constitutional rights to trial would be waived by me ordering food? Let's be honest. You're just going to click OK anyways, ladies. So don't even think like you're going to fucking read it. So she's got a bunch of injuries, which I totally feel bad about that. Like I'm not shitting on her for that. Let's see. Yeah, I do think, I mean, they can just say that their daughter did it. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of need some more concrete evidence. Like, well, you gave her the phone to order the pizza, so you're allowing her to use the app. But,
right.
And then it kind of referenced, did you see that story about the guy that sued Disney?
Yeah, because of his wife.
Yeah,
right?
And they were like, Disney said that he waived his right to a jury trial when signing up for a free trial of their streaming platform in 2019.
I feel like in these situations, what needs to happen is somebody needs to put like regulations down on what it can't encompass, like everything. Like,
well, you mean like it needs like a couple different ones to check? Like,
right.
This is about so-and-so, and this is about so-and-so, not like one document that has like 100 pages.
That covers all of the different things that they, they
Yeah.
encompass. They need one like, okay, if you're going to do, Disney World, you have one for that. Not that I signed up for Disney Plus for my daughter and she's like, oh, Dad, what's this? And clicks it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they're going to, just like anything, they're trying to protect their own butt, and they're going to figure out a way to how to get out of it. But here's a question for you. Are you saying if you use the Uber platform, you can't sue them? Like, do we give up our rights when, I mean, even us as drivers, like, do we, obviously I've never read him, but I'm just saying,
read it.
Well, it's sad. Like, even with Apple, with we get a new update and it has a whole list of like, but I'm saying like right now I have an Uber rider account and I'm sure I rarely use it. Are you telling me when I go in there, it's going to ask me to click this stuff, and it says in there, I'm not allowed to sue them if I get in an accident? Because that doesn't sound legal.
But have you ever ordered on your Uber Eats app?
Yeah.
You probably already clicked it.
Well, no, I know, but my point is there some weird loophole that these people fell into, or is this for everybody? Like, no one can sue Uber because
you can't. I think you can't sue, but you can like go into like mediation or something. I don't think you can sue them.
Says drivers, we gave up our rights to sue, so we can only do arbitration. Well, I guess I'm stupid. What's arbitration over suing? Like, isn't it the same? Well, we're getting in the weeds with that, but I don't even know what that would mean. Like, I go into arbitration. What does that mean? We're in discussion of how much money you're going to give me, or that just seems odd. If a driver goes out and does something like what about that dude in Kalamazoo that was an Uber driver going out and like killing people?
Oh, like the difference is you
no jury.
Yeah, no jury, and you can't I think one of them you can't appeal. Like the decision is binding, and it is what it is. So if that's the judgment, you can't appeal it.
I see. No jury trial. Bubba Sue says we'll only get you one. What number is that? 100,000?
100th or 10.
I think it's 100. Isn't? Oh no, it is. It's hard to see the zeros.
Yeah.
Oh, non-disclosure. You know they would have that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's weird. That's kind of scary. I'll be honest with you.
Well, and I think as drivers, we sign that every time the new terms of service, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
We've probably signed it when we joined Uber Eats. They probably have it for people who, what is it? They're rentals.
Oh God, yeah. That's so interesting. Our normal, this is kind of off the cuff, but does Apple say that too in there? Like, we can't sue them?
Probably. I think any major company that's worth millions of dollars probably has it in there.
Yeah.
They probably have the same damn lawyer that writes them all out.
The same company for everybody. Yeah. They just copy and paste it. Yeah. Miguel says we need the money, so we sign. I mean, it's kind of true.
Well, and they hit you with it when you're going on, right? To go online. And you're just like, oh, it's surging right now. Or
yeah, I wish they would. I'm not saying I would go and read it, but I wish they would like they do with app updates. So like, oh, do you want to update your app? And be like, nah. I'm not doing that right now. I want to go drive. But they give you 3 chances, right? Like you got 3 chances to read this terms of service. After the 3rd time, you have to do it. But Bubba Sue, all companies use this, even buying socks. That's crazy. Well, I mean, I know anything online. I mean, obviously, if you go to Walmart to buy a package of socks and cash out or check out with cash, they're not making you sign a disclosure. But you're kind of right. You sign up for any kind of an account online, you do click something that says you agree with their terms. In fact, the other day, I used this. I know this is going to sound silly, but I use this toothbrush service called Quip, and they send me a new head every 3 months. Because you're actually supposed to replace your heads every 3 months, not every 6 months when you go to the dentist. But I have it's an electric toothbrush, so they can send me a battery and a head every 3 months. And the kids are on it. My wife does her own thing. I don't know. And I had to chat with them because they only sent 2 out of the 3. But when I signed up for the chat and was going to send the message, I had to click a bunch of boxes. And one of them was you agree to get promotional messages and that we will use some of these messages in marketing. I had to agree before I could send the chat to chat with the bot, and then which turned into the agent. I'm like, normally I read those little ones there, but I agree to use my chat in marketing. I'm like, all right, dude, what the fuck ever. Just don't use my address.
It's for all the AI stuff.
I don't know, but I've never seen something saying I seen the, promotional text or whatever. I'm like, it's fine. I'm already signed up for that. But the weird, marketing thing, I thought that was odd. But All right. Legal rideshare is this handsome man. Legal rideshare. They are injury lawyers, and they work on. Legal Rideshare is the first law firm in the United States to focus exclusively on Uber, Lyft, gig workers, delivery, and e-scooter accidents. Consultations are always free. Check them out at legalrideshare.com or call them 312-767-7950. And then, of course, they have their weekly podcast, which they didn't stream last week. I was going to go watch their live stream. It's called This Week in Rideshare. Just go to the link in the description, and then obviously they have a podcast as well. I think it's let me look at my podcast app. I just want to be correct on it. Oh, it's just called the Legal Rideshare Podcast, which is brilliant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to keep it simple. But yeah, they're great. They've advertised on the show a few times, and I think that we've had them on the show. But yeah, if you ever get fucked up in an accident, speaking of suing, call them right away. They used to do deactivations, but I don't know that Steve said they don't do that anymore. They used to kind of help you with deactivations, but maybe it got too muddy and they're like, you know what, we're going to stick what we know is like accident. But
yeah. Have you seen the new commercial? Since we're talking about this, it kind of goes with it. I don't get regular commercials for DirecTV, for AT&T. And it's the new one. If you've been like inappropriately handled by an Uber driver,
really,
there's no time frame. I'm gonna have to record it one day with my phone and send it to you, but it's like there's no time frame. It doesn't matter how long ago it happened. If you were kissed or touched or anything, please contact us.
It doesn't surprise me.
I've seen it probably 5 times in the last 2 days on TV.
Interesting. It doesn't surprise me. But then did they give up their rights though? Do they go like? Is it only arbitration? You know what I mean? Like
that'd be good to know.
There's got to be some clauses in there that says like if you were sexually assaulted, it doesn't apply, or something like if it was something super heinous. I don't know. I mean,
it says a bunch of stuff, so I will record it next time and then I can show you. But it's been playing nonstop for the last couple days. So
you should just Google it. You probably can find it somewhere on YouTube. But anyways, yeah. So if you do get an accident, be sure to reach out to them. I mean, hopefully you never do. But
where are they at?
Chicago.
Okay.
But I'm assuming they must be able to practice law everywhere. Otherwise, they wouldn't advertise. But maybe they have like people that they connect with outside of Illinois. But all right, Gabe's favorite time of year coming up, and
Halloween.
It is Halloween. Halloween.
Yeah,
I don't have that picture. Why don't I? Oh, there wasn't a picture. Oh no, there isn't a picture. It's just an article. Anyways, Go ahead. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
So Uber is partnering up with Spirit Halloween to deliver Halloween costumes and decor, whatever they sell. You'll be able to go through, and I believe you can get it at the same price as if you were walking into the store.
Wow.
And I feel like all of them though, like Instacart, Spirit is popping up now.
Really?
So I think it's just yeah. You can buy a costume. I took one last year and I walked in the store and there was probably 40 people in line. And I was like, no.
Cancel.
I canceled it. I was like, no, I'm not sitting here waiting for this. But it's a new way to bring another store to people. It's all about convenience. So in this year, I guess they're saying that Halloween sales are expected to reach like $11.6 billion.
That's nuts.
And that's from like the National Retail Federation. That's what they're saying. So,
what's really nuts is that Spirit Halloween has 1,500 locations.
Yeah.
Now they're only up for a month though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some that are open all the time, but like, they just normally just come in and they do a good job. Actually, I don't know if they do a good job. I've never been inside. At least outside, it doesn't look completely shitty. It doesn't look like it's, not been taken care of.
No, the insides look great.
Do they?
There's so many options, but like here in the article, it talks about like as a working mom, I know how crucial that last minute face paint or mask can be on the morning of the school parade or the hour before trick or treating. If you wait that long, there's nothing. Like even like a couple days before Halloween, you go in and you're like, no.
Yeah.
So like I'm just like, like that's something that I don't know. I feel like if you're waiting to the last minute, shame on you. But like number 2, you're not going to get all that.
No, it's going to be slim pickings.
Yeah.
I often wonder too. You said you walked in the store and there was 40 people. I wonder if they're going to be like, because like usually there's Bubba Sue's Spirits on DoorDash as well. Not usually, but some stores have like separate lines for like customers and like pickup and delivery and stuff like that. I wonder if they're sophisticated to do that.
No, there's like two or three checkout people. Like there's a counter, and then when you go in, like all of the space is utilized. Like you've got the walls are all lined with racks with costumes, right? And then in the middle you have these big decorations, and then they fill in with other decorations.
Okay.
So it's just like this. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a lot of shit in one small area.
What is your opinion on self-checkout? I noticed that Five Below, all their checkouts now, at least the one in Granville, are self-checkout.
A lot of them here too.
Do you think that moves things quicker, or do you think it causes more issues because people don't understand how to do it? I was just curious about that.
I think it causes, being somebody who does Instacart or DoorDash or Uber Eats and doing the shopping and using the kiosk, it sucks because sometimes the damn machines are so finicky, right? They come over and they're like, wait, somebody's on their way. So you have, 10 checkouts or 11 self-checkouts at Meijer, right? And you've got 5 people standing looking around for that one person that's manning the area.
Oh, God.
To scan their ID, or it recognized your cart was right there, but you have another order that you have to still do, or it recognized something, because they're finicky.
Yeah.
I think it slows down the process.
Yeah, I do. You're right about Meijer. There's never 2 people there. The whole fucking thing is full to the brim, and 4 people are in the IDs scanned, and I don't know. I don't know how you've.
Well, and you have the self, or if you have 5 items or less, or if you've used your app to scan,
that works
you have those
good.
3. Yeah, that's fine. You have those 3 or 4, but if there's an ID that they need to check, you've got that one person manning the kiosk and running back over there.
It's the same issue. So it sounds like it's an ID issue mostly. Like, I don't know how you get away from that. Have something at the beginning while you're in line to scan your. I don't know. I don't even know.
Well, I think they can control it too. Like, especially if they recognize you have another order in your cart, right? Because it's like, oh, you've missed some items, right? So it prompts them to come over and check, and then they're like, oh, what's going on? And you're just like, I have another order. So they're like, okay, and they bypass. Well, Meijer, I think at different times, depending on how busy they are, like they turn it off. So like, I'll do one order, pay for it, put it in my cart, do my other order, pay for it, put it in my cart, and then like sometimes when I have the third order on Instacart, then I go to pay, and then they're like, "Oh nope, your cart, you still have stuff in it," and I'm just like,
"Oh yeah, okay."
And they're like, "It just now flagged you." I'm like, "Yeah," when I was doing the third order.
One time at Walmart, I got a prescription, and then I bought a bunch of stuff, and I went through the self-checkout line, and the camera. So I put stuff in, like I scanned it and put it in the bag, and I had the prescription on the one side, and I dragged it across my body, like in front of me, not on the scanner. And it was like, nope, you got something in there that you didn't scan. Like it got it like right away.
Yeah, I've had that happen when I'm bagging.
When I picked it up last week, I moved it over there before I started scanning my stuff, and then it wouldn't catch it. Because then I had to wait for somebody to come over, and they're like looking through my bag. I'm like, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's this prescription that's, sealed and clipped or whatever.
Yeah. But, I will say the one store that has their system pretty good is Spark. right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you get it all in the cart and you go up, you scan the QR code, and then it's like, you're all set. Here's your receipt. Bag your stuff and go. And you're just like,
Don't
okay.
you feel guilty like don't you feel like you're always stealing, even though you know you didn't do a fucking thing?
Yeah.
It's just odd. It is odd. You're like, oh, are they going to ask me? I know when I first started it, when it was super popular over here, I was in there all day in the wintertime, and they fucking didn't stop. They recognized this big-ass gray beard, and they're like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? But if I would, like, skip some weeks or something, every once in a while, if I had a big item that wasn't bagged, they would ask to see the receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like a Keurig or something like that, where you're not
Well,
putting
it's
in
like-
a bag.
I go there sometimes. My daughter and I, we go every 3 months to like get her supplies and stuff. And every time we go, because we'll buy like bulk of laundry detergent and paper towel, and we get up there, they want to see the receipt. But then when you do, I do a Spark and I have all this shit in the cart, and I'm going up and my phone's in there, and they're like, you're a Spark. I'm like, yep, okay, you're good to go. And I'm just like, okay.
Well, the thing is, you could fucking steal so much if you wanted to. I mean, I would get maybe audited like 1 every 10 orders. Like, I mean, you are rolling the dice. I mean, you're rolling the dice, but if you just stuck something underneath all that, they'd never know. I mean, obviously, if you got something that's going to set off the beep beep when you go out, you got to be smart with it. I mean, it's not me. I would never do that. But I'm just saying, like, I do feel like I'm stealing shit when I check out of there, and no one fucking talks to me. I just walk out.
Yeah. I had to get something from their spray paint. I had to get spray paint for somebody, and it's locked up now.
Really?
Here, yeah. So the guy comes over and he's like, "Well, technically, I should have you. You can pay for it back here." And I go, "Oh, can you ring up the rest of this then? Because it's all one order." And he goes, "Are you on Spark?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, you can take it up front, but just don't be huffing it." And I was just like, I'm like, okay.
Do
Thanks,
I
old
look
man.
like a huffer, you bitch?
Yeah. I'm like, it's just funny how they change the rules
Yeah.
depending on what it's for.
Yeah, well, there was an art. Of course, it's TikTok. That's how I watch content now. But it was somewhere, I think in Los Angeles. Every single thing at the Walgreens was locked up. Everything, Band-Aids, baking soda, and then the high end stuff, all locked up. And people are all like, "This is inconvenient." Well, hey, fuckers, stop stealing the shit, and it won't be a problem. Like, I mean, I know. I know. I'm not lying. I saw the video, and it was like basic cooking things were like locked up. And I'm like, well, you live I'm sorry, maybe you don't steal, but unfortunately you live in a neighborhood where theft is like rampant. And San Francisco is like, oh, if it's less than $1,000, we're not even call the cops. You know what I mean?
Well, Miguel just said on 52 a bunch of stuff's locked up. Is that 52nd
Oh, really?
Street?
Well, yeah, that's a little bit of a hoodie Walmart. So that kind of tracks.
52nd.
52nd and Clyde Park, between Division and Clyde Park. Oh, no, yeah.
No.
54th Street. 54th Street.
There's a Walmart?
Yeah, it's 54th Street Walmart.
Oh.
Yeah. I know where you're starting. Yeah, it's 54th Street. Yeah, the one by the railroad tracks right there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
That one's, I mean, I'm sorry. It's a little hoodie. I mean, there's obviously some nice areas around there, but there's also some shitty areas. But, but yeah, stop stealing stuff and they won't have to lock it up. Like, if you're not going to call the cops unless it's over $1,000, why? I mean, people just walk in there and steal shit. So,
yeah.
idiots.
Well, what was it? I was watching one about Walmart where she bought a toy. She paid for it. She got to the door and the security guy was going over it and he's like, "You didn't pay for this. It's not on the receipt." And she's like, "Yes, it is. It was for I think it was like $7.50. It was on sale." He's like, "No, it's $15." And she's like, "No, it's on there." So he's arguing with her for a good while.
Wow.
She's like super pissed. She's like, "I'm in here all the time. I won't come back here." And so for a minute you're like, is she making it up? But then some guy comes over and they scan the damn thing and it rings up and says exactly what it said on her receipt. And then he just walked away. He didn't even apologize to her, nothing.
I feel like they're hiring these like wannabe like police officers or something. Although the ones that in Granville, they're just old people. They're super chill. But like, why did he just go fucking scan it right away anyways? Like,
I don't
why
know.
argue with the lady? Like, let's just walk over. Like, get a manager, walk over to the thing and scan it. That poor lady. Jeez.
Yeah,
And no one
it's
likes to be,
embarrassing.
huh?
I said it's so embarrassing, right?
Oh,
And then you're
so
like,
embarrassing. Like when the
Yeah.
beep beep goes off when you walk through the thing, even though you know you didn't steal nothing, they're like, oh, fuck, everyone thinks I stole now. You know
mhm.
what I mean? But it's like, what, is she really going to steal a $7? I mean, I guess people do. I mean, look at Los Angeles, the baking soda that's 98 cents is locked up. So, all right, I'm going to skip mine about the driverless cars because I feel like we've talked that to death. But I did want to post this for the audio listeners. It is a Lyft screenshot,
Yeah, it's nice.
and it says 1720. And then the awesome 98-cent bonus. That's not what we're talking. But then underneath it says a $6.19 tip. So
yeah, that's included in it.
that's included in it. So basically what we've now, didn't Uber test this at some, they test so much shit. I forget if it's even like a real thing or, you know, remember last week we were talking about, I think you may have brought up or somebody did. Last week, Lyft was talking about how they are doing the EV anxiety. They're basically not going to give you rides if it doesn't match your battery. Well, I think maybe it was Miguel, but he was right because I'm putting together a best of for Christmas and I'm going through and I was looking and back in May, Uber launched that. So I'm just, what I guess my point is, I feel like I've seen this before, the upfront tip with Uber, but I can't remember.
I think it's only on like scheduled rides.
Well, I haven't even seen a news article about it. Someone posted the screenshot. So like, so scheduled rides on Uber you're talking about?
Yeah, like if you pre-schedule a ride, I think that's where they're rolling this in.
Okay. Okay.
So like, you know, they can tip then like, hey, thanks for taking my ride, or to prompt somebody to grab their ride. So they make sure they have one.
Yeah, and well, yeah, exactly. And maybe it keeps the driver more accountable because they know. Well, yes and no. They might be like, well, that's not a big enough tip for me. I'm not doing it. But or
Right.
the other one says, wow, I'm getting, you know,
I
7.
think, well, it goes back to what you've said, like, show me what you're going to tip me, and I'll drive and go get you.
Yes.
Or, you know, and I agree with you because it's the same thing like on Instacart. I see tip, you know, granted, some people might put a little bit on and then change it.
Yeah.
They don't put it all out there, but a lot of the customers put it out there, and that's what prompts me. Like, okay, you have a lot of stuff, but you're actually paying me to do this. Like,
Yeah.
you're paying me to shop. You're paying me to carry it up your 2 flights of stairs.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
they value your time.
Yeah.
They value the service that you're providing, and they value, like, I don't have to fucking do this, so I'm going to make sure, you know, I get good service and the right groceries and stuff like that.
And I get it. You know, there's a balance because you're going to have some people, if they don't tip, they're going to be like, well, they can sit there. I'm not giving them a ride.
Yeah. But that's the thing. What if Instacart said, guess what? Well, you're not going to see the tip up front. You're not going to know.
Oh, it would change the game so much.
You'd never do it. But like I
You'd
said,
have to do. I'm a full-time gig worker, so I guess I would have to just be like, roll the dice.
well, what you would start doing is you would start being like, well, it's only going to be at Costco and it's only going to be bigger item. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
the odds would favor if it was a bigger item. I mean, yeah, you're going to get fucked once in a while. I mean, you just are. But wouldn't that be crazy, dude?
Oh yeah, there's no way.
You'd be like, I got to find another gig. Like, I don't know if I could do this.
I've taken one in like the couple years that I've done Instacart where I was like, maybe they'll tip after, because it was a beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Like, it was probably 2 weeks of groceries at least. And you're just like, all right, like $300 and some odd dollars at Kroger, beautiful big ass house, cool. And you go, and then you're like 2 hours later, they still haven't done anything. Later that night, you're like, nothing. And then the next day, you're like, really? Like,
God, that would get me so angry. Like, I
Yeah.
would be bitter for days on that. You know what I mean? Just because of the work you put into it.
yeah.
It's not.
But it's frustrating.
Well, it's not like you're driving people around. Like, it obviously, I know it is a dangerous job when you're driving people. So people take it for granted that you are you just drive around and everything's okay, right? But it is really dangerous. I mean, it really is more dangerous than you shopping. You know what I mean? But you always get tipped, right? Well, not always, but you never get tipped on Uber driving. But yeah, I basically kept you from dying in a car accident. But no one's dramatic like that, right? Because you drive every day, and what are the chances? I'm like, well,
like what was that? We were talking about it like episodes a while back where somebody was like, well, yeah, I'll tip my Uber Eats driver, but I'm not tipping my Uber driver.
Dude.
And you were like,
dude, I pulled that clip for best of too. I don't remember which episode that was, but like I basically went down all the rundowns and I played that video. I'm like, oh, that one got me hot. We're gonna. It was probably good discussion about that.
Yeah, somebody was like, yeah, I won't tip my driver, but I'll tip my Uber Eats driver.
Yeah, it was. They were on a podcast. I remember it. It was a TikTok. A bunch of bros. Oh my god.
Well, and I that's the one thing I can appreciate though with Instacart, like the area where I'm at, like today I got a $93 and 70 some odd dollars of it was the tip,
which is insane. That's almost too much.
Yeah, and I was like, but they're I think it was like $765 is what their total was.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like it was a lot of stuff. And I got there and I'm like, okay, either I'm going to have to climb up a bunch of stairs or they're actually doing this because this shit's heavy. So we'll see. And I get up there and I'm like, oh, there's 3 stairs, long walkway, 3 more stairs, and then the door. And I'm like, man, I got to carry this shit. I'm like, okay. I start to back up to just get close enough to the walkway.
Yeah.
And the garage opens up and he's like, just back all the way up. You can almost pull into the garage and I will help you unload. And I was just like,
fuck yeah.
Oh, I'm like, you tipped really good and you're making this as easy as possible for me.
But you still would have done it with a smile on your face because the tip was great. Like I can put a lot of sweat in for a great ass tip. You know what I mean? And I'll do it with a smile on my face. It's the ones that where you kind of gambled and it was like, and it's like, 100 stairs to go up, you're carrying water up there or whatever.
Well, what is Amazon? I've not done a Whole Foods. I don't even see them pop up.
So he's right that you do roll the dice with that. It'll say $20 base and then possibly 20 to whatever on the tip. And man, I tell you, I've done them before too, and they're just not worth it to me.
No,
I want to know my money up front, like Instacart. Like I want to know my money up front. Yeah, of course they can change it, but I mean, what will you say? 8 out of 10 probably don't change it. Well, I'm asking you. I'm just speculating.
Oh, yeah. I've had one person tip bait me, and I got them kicked off the platform.
But I'm talking like in general, like people reduce it because you did say earlier that sometimes people reduce it.
Yeah, that was the one. The one they reduced it. They tip baited. They tipped high to get somebody to grab the order.
Yeah.
And then after you dropped it off, like I didn't even get pulled out of the parking lot, and then they dropped it. And I was just like,
at least
like fuming.
At least wait till like an hour later or something, or whatever the time limit is. Like make sure that it. That's so rude.
But usually people raise it. Like,
well, that would be the appropriate way. I would rather have somebody tip me a little bit lower, but then raise it after they get the good service or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Except going the other way just because, they want you to grab the order, but then they're going to cut it in half. And you're like,
yeah.
Really?
Like I had 2 people raise it yesterday and I was just like, sweet. And then today a girl she gave me cash extra.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes they'll be like, I had an old lady a couple days ago was like, can you carry that box in for me? And I was like, you want me to carry it inside? And she was like, yeah, just put it on the counter. And then she was like, here's an extra 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'll do a lot of shit for extra money. I mean, I'm just saying, I'll put it on your counter if you want to. We got to wrap up here, but one thing, you should do Dumpling. That's the platform that you can use and to have your own clients. Like, I think you would do great with that.
I should. I've like poked at it and was like,
I know it's kind of I think it's a lot of work, not a lot of work, but it's definitely more upfront work to build a little client base, but it's still app related. Like it's not like you're like writing it down on a piece of paper and then, and they're giving you cash to go do it. It's still all like automated and stuff.
I should, because I do
occasionally.
I get like, I've randomly last week the week before my surgery, I forget how long ago it's been. She, as soon as I sent like, hey, I'm heading to the store, you know, if you have any updates, just let me know and I'll keep you updated. She was like, oh my God, Gabriel, it's been a while.
see?
I've been wondering where you're at. And I was just like, and then I'm in my head, I'm like, I look at it and then I quickly look at the address and I'm like, oh man, she's a pain in the ass. I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah. But I think you do great at that, and you keep way more of the money. It's so much more of the money.
I'll have to look into
you have
it.
to look at. I think you pay like $20 or $30 just to get access to the app, and then like that. I mean, they have different tiered plans where they can like market for you and shit like that. But I think the base to get in is like $20 or $30.
I should look into it.
I would. You're a good shopper, and you do it all the time. Why not kind of basically work for yourself and not have to deal with Instacart and all that? I mean, you could still do both, obviously, but
yeah.
I mean, obviously, you're gonna be Miguel.
20
bucks is 20
$20.
bucks. That's right, man. When you but anyways, I think you should do it. But we're gonna wrap up, and Gabe, thanks for jumping into the co-host position.
Yeah, it was fun.
As always. And I don't know. I don't have anything coming up other than I was putting together a best of, which I've never done.
Yeah.
We did last year. We did something like the 12 Days of Christmas, and I don't know. I think I picked like some of the like dumpster fire, like even back like episode 1 I played, and episode 5, and like it was fun. But I can't do that again because it's already been played. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like John's recaps when he would do them for us for the week.
Well, yeah. What I'm finding though is I need to do it after each episode and put it what I want, because as we got towards I try to do one story from every week starting in January, but some of them I couldn't remember. I don't know if it was funny. Like I tried to read the article and watch the video, but I'm like, I need to do that like after tonight. I need to pull like whatever, if it was a good topic. It doesn't have to be funny, but just, you know, good discussion.
Right. So. Start doing it now. It'll make the ending easier for you.
So much easier. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening and watching. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.